watched the documentary, the Gabby Petito. I've been putting it off because I kept hearing how people were triggered by it, and haven't really had the time or the energy to put myself through that. My boyfriend and I watched it last night. It didn't really hit me as hard as I thought it might. I was having a glass of wine. But in the end, when everyone was talking about missing her and all that stuff, I almost kind of lost it a little bit. Like, the story is sad. I don't think they did a good enough job, really, of conveying to the audience the reality of emotional abuse. Like, they kind of focused a little bit too much on the phone call about her getting slapped and then the strangulation. It just goes to show how much our society still motherfucking thinks abuse is physical. Also, the fact that it's not a requirement at this point for cops and emergency related people to be informed about, like, the red flags of abusive behavior. The fact that she was taking blame for the incident and he got the hotel room because he's over there being all charming and funny while his girlfriend is literally having a meltdown, and the cops think that that's normal and send him to a hotel room. I know everybody's fired up about this, and I didn't really come on here to say the same things everyone else has been saying, but I wanted to, like, make the point that it doesn't make sense to me. The job that is designed to fix this situation between two people, and they don't see that as a red flag. The girl, the abused one, takes the blame because the reality is so twisted and all that shit. But also, the whole time we were watching that, I couldn't help but think, like, it kind of gave me chills, the fact that that could have been me. I didn't, not the van life thing, but my ex has definitely had his hands around my throat, and I was screaming and gasping for air. The neighbors called the MPs. By the time the MPs got there, I didn't know they had been called. I was sitting outside the door of the apartment crying and, like, rocking back and forth with my head on my knees. The MPs showed up, asked me why I was sitting outside. I just said we were having an argument and I just wanted to not be in there right now. Or whatever I said. I don't honestly remember. But then I felt guilty and in trouble because I didn't go, like, sit in the car or somewhere where nobody could see me. Like, it was my fault that the MPs found me sitting there. And then they finally got him to wake up by banging on the door and took him away to the barracks for 3 days. And the whole time he was gone, like, I was still unaware, I guess, of the abuse and was just frantically waiting for him to come back. Like, I was a nervous wreck. Every time I heard someone coming up the stairs of the apartment complex, I would run and look out the peephole of the door. Like, and they didn't tell me anything. I didn't know how long he was going to be gone for, what kind of trouble he was in, nothing. I didn't get anything. He ended up calling me, which he wasn't supposed to do, and apparently didn't remember really strangling me or locking me out in the stairwell. But anyway, I still tried to take the blame for the entire situation, because if I wasn't so mouthy and disrespectful, he wouldn't have had a reason to put his hands on my throat. What? Listen, I don't care who you are or how mad someone gets at you. Laying their hands on you is never an acceptable option. Ever. Especially not from a partner. Ever. It makes me so angry that this is so widely acceptable. And even the cops are just like, yeah, he's obviously the good guy because he's calm and making jokes with us. Like, no big deal. So I wonder if there's some kind of, like, petition we can start, or I don't know how all that shit works, but, like, some way to create a situation where law enforcement and judges, lawyers, like all of these people that directly handle any of these cases, it's like mandatory that they should be trauma informed. They should know what red flags to watch out for, how to successfully diffuse a situation without getting the abused person in further trouble with the abuser, and how to actually comfort and help the abused instead of making them feel like they're in trouble. It's 2025. Like, let's fucking fix it. I don't want my nieces to grow up in a world where this is okay. What can we do?